Chapter 27, Bloodlines. According to William Bramley in his book The Gods of Eden, he writes that the Sumerians stated that the first human kings upon earth were the offspring of alien rulers who mated with human women. Those matings entitled the half-human offspring to become early monarchs upon the earth. Thus the idea of royal blood and the perceived importance of maintaining proper royal breeding to ensure continued purity of the human royal bloodline. Some ancient alien gods were depicted as either blue-skinned or blue-blooded. Aristocratic breeding practices have persisted throughout history and remain important today. Bramley says that human blue bloods appear to be the prize Hereford cows of Earth's livestock race, Homo sapiens. David Icke writes in The Perception-Deception that these bloodlines see themselves at the elite because of their genetic connection to the gods. He goes on to say that these bloodlines cannot express empathy, which is the ability to understand another's feelings. Because of this, anything goes, meaning that they can cause death, destruction and suffering with no emotional remorse. He also says that human reptilian blue blood hybrids were seeded all over the world and their manipulation of the human population has been passed down through the generations to the present day. They became founders of Rome, and through the Roman Empire and other routes they expanded into all of Europe, where they became the royal families and aristocracy which survives currently. Author Stuart Swerdlow learnt at Montauk that such bloodlines interbred with Celts who were ancestors of survivors from Atlantis, and that the preferred genetic type for interbreeding are blonde-haired and blue-eyed people because this genetic combination is much easier to mind control. Riciarth.com reported on the 13 bloodlines, and they include the Astor bloodline. The original founder of the Astor fortune was John Jacob Astor, 1763 to 1884. He was born in Waldorf, Duchy of Baden, Germany, from a Jewish bloodline. The Jewish origins have been hidden, and quite a number of various ideas of the Astors' heritage have been put into circulation by the Astors. John Jacob Astor was a butcher in Waldorf. In 1784 he came to America after a stopover in London, England. Although the story is that he came to America penniless, he joined the Masonic Lodge and within 2-3 years had become the master of the Holland Lodge No. 8 in New York City. This Holland Lodge is a prominent lodge in that many of its members have good connections. Bundy bloodline. Most Americans would not recognize the Bundy family as a powerful elite family. However, during recent history, two Bundy brothers held key positions that controlled most of the information that was fed to United States presidents during the Kennedy and Johnson administrations. When Johnson took over after JFK was assassinated, McGeorge Bundy was in the key position as National Security Advisor to determine what the president did and did not hear. His brother was in a key State Department position. Both Bundy brothers were also fraternal brothers of the Illuminati Order of the Skull and Bones. Collins bloodline. The following is a description of a highly secret high-level satanic meeting. It comes via an ex-insider, now a Christian. This dates to 1955. This is a meeting that is held twice a year and to which the Rothschilds and all the Mother families attend. The meeting is in a large room and the grandmother on the throne was a Collins. The Collins family has been kept out of the limelight because they have more occult power than the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers. DuPont bloodline. One of the clues that this family is a top satanic family is the frequency of marriages between relatives of the DuPont descendants. Few people are aware of the importance bloodlines play in the upper levels of Satanism. Blood is believed to carry the occult power. Unless a person has the correct blood, he or she will not rise to the highest levels of Satanism. The DuPonts have intermarried with the Balls and the Gardners. These other families are known to be involved with both the Illuminati and Satanism. Freeman bloodline. From 1918 to 1963, Jean Cocteau was Grand Master of the Prud'Hommes. Following the unification of the various powers into a secret NWO government in 1954, the Prud'Hommes had a major policy dispute in 1963 with Cocteau's death. Gaylord Freeman, helped by Antonio Mazzagora and Pierre Planter de Saint Clair, governed the Prud'Hommes. In 1981, Pierre Planter took over as Grand Master. In 1952, long before becoming Grand Master, Planter de Saint Clair transferred 100 million francs worth of gold ingots to Switzerland to the Union des Banques Suisses. When this was publicly revealed, he said that it was a legitimate move made for the French government. In 1955, several men associated with the Prud'Hommes obtained some old parchments, two of which gave the Merovingian genealogies, and they used the British notary of Royal Kennedy bloodline. The Kennedy family abounds with marriages to names such as Anquetil's, Bailey's, Booth's, Buckley's, Collins, Hatfields, Humphreys, Freemans, James, Phelps, Reagans, Russells and Smiths. The Kennedys are related to the Fitzpatricks, who are a powerful Irish family whose coat of arms has three fleurs-de-lis with a dragon and a lion. Lee bloodline. Lee Ka-shing and the Hong Kong Lees are part of the Satanic Illuminati Lees. In terms of whether the Lees who run Red China are part of the Illuminati, I do know that Red China is cooperating with and is a part of the New World Order. Onassis bloodline. Aristotle Socrates Onassis went from being broke at 21 to being a millionaire at 23. Aristotle was an Illuminati king, a shipping tycoon, an intelligent, ruthless and hard-hitting man who spoke many languages, who married JFK's widow. Reynolds bloodline. The Reynolds family is not one of the 13 primary bloodlines but are a prominent Illuminati family, although they are allied with the major ones including the Rothschilds, DuPonts, Rockefellers, Graces and the Greys, and are close to the Duke and Cullman families. Rockefeller bloodline. Today there are around 190 members of this family with the Rockefeller name. They are involved in the control of the Christian denominations. Rothschild bloodline. According to our witnesses, the British Rothschilds set a place for Satan at their table and have been Satanists for many generations. They are an important part of the history of the Seal of Solomon. According to Jim Mars, in his book entitled Our Occulted History, it has been reported from several sources that the Rothschilds believed themselves descended from the Sumerian king Nimrod, the biblical great-grandson of Noah, and according to Burke's peerage, a Rothschild child born in 1922 was named Albert Anselm Salomon Nimrod Rothschild. Russell bloodline. The WT Society performs a secret ritual each year which is their primary ritual. This ritual is actually the ancient Gnostic satanic ritual of saying no to the body of Christ. This ancient satanic ritual is now secretly practiced under the disguise of the Memorial Supper, where the elements of communion are passed and no one partakes of the elements. Van Doyne bloodline. A. Van Doyne and the CIA, MI6, Mossad, NSA, etc. MI6 was involved in the creation of the CIA and Mossad, with MI6 being the guiding hand behind the organizations. British intelligence was integrated under the British Security Coordination, which was the world's largest and most powerful intelligence beast in the world. Merovingian bloodline. This bloodline is so extensive in its many branches that its membership takes in many of the presidents of the United States, including George Bush and George Washington. There have been some complications by authors in trying to untangle the complicated bloodlines, and by other authors having researched the 13 ruling family bloodlines, but they have included the following: Rothschild, Bauer or Bauer, Bruce, Cavendish, Kennedy, de Medici, Hanover, Habsburg, Krupp, Plantagenet, Rockefeller, Romanov, Sinclair, Warburg, Del Banco, and Windsor, Saxe-Coburg. The Windsor line is the British royal family line. I suggest that you uncover your own research into this, but the bloodlines of the hierarchy do have the common agenda in which they are given areas of the planet and functions to fulfill in those areas. Functions include global finances, military technology development, mind control, religion, media. Each of the 13 ruling families has a council of 13 underneath them. The 13 ruling member families are all shapeshifters, but the members of the 300 supporting families are not, although they have reptilian DNA. They are known as the Committee of 300 Feet, and the families include notable names that can be investigated. This Committee of 300 use institutions to achieve their goals and include the CFR, Bilderbergers, the TC, Club of Rome, Royal Institute for International Affairs, Mafia, NSA, Mossad, Secret Service, IMF, Federal Reserve, IRS and Interpol. This number has great significance. 12 types of energy pass through the 10 aspects of the God mind. The totality of the 12 energies equals a 13th energy. Nations and central banks within them were created to amass wealth for the ruling families and their supporters, to hide or keep wealth, and to create unstable conditions that led to wars. Switzerland was created as a neutral banking center in order for the Illuminati families to have a safe place to keep their funds without fear of destruction, war and prying eyes. The United States is a corporate asset of the Virginia Company. It was established in 1604 in England with involvement of the Rothschilds. The United States is an asset of the Virginia Company, which is owned by the Holy Roman Empire via the Vatican, and this happened in 1213 because King James gave all English assets to the Pope. Executorships remain with the British royal family, but ownership lies with the Roman Catholic Church.